And Lori, if you need anything, just speak up. It's kind of hard to see the screen in here, so.
Okay.
All this fancy technology. I know, I gotta get used to it.
I know, I've got both just back up and then side thing on.
I got paper.
That's right, there you go.
I know, I'm gonna have to give up my paper.
Me and my little notes.
I do like having it on the left.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go ahead and call the finance committee to order. And I don't believe there was any on-site packet. Not last night.
Not for this one.
Yeah. Any additions or revisions to the agenda? Okay. So any announcements this morning? Welcome back to an in-person meeting. All right, we'll look at June 29th minutes. That means pretty concise as well. Lori will entertain a motion to accept those minutes or make adjustments as you see fit.
You can make the motions to do online.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, if I can, let me read the motion and then you can accept it. Is there a board member who would like to make the following motion? I move to approve the minutes from the June 29th, 2022 Finance Committee as written.
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second the motion. I can do that. So, any discussion, Lori?
No?
All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
And any dissent? And motion carries. Unfinished business, our monthly finance report.
Yes, you have this on page 5 in your packet. What's on page 5 is the P fund balance. And you will see that it's staying good. It's starting to level off a little bit. You know, there for a while, there was concern maybe that it was going up too high or something, but I see it leveling off now. I did get August report. It's not in here because I just got it, but it's only like $1,000 less. So maybe we're kind of getting to that evening off thing. And then on page 6 are the deposits that we brought in. And then on page 7 are the expenditures. And of course, you know, we just started the new fiscal year on July 1st. So there's not much on it. So that's pretty much it. It looks good.
Pretty straightforward. Lori, you have any questions?
I don't think so.
So we need a motion to accept the finance report.
We haven't in the past.
We haven't, okay.
Consent.
So we'll move on to our update of our fiscal year 23, 24, and 25 budget.
Okay, it is almost done. It has to be submitted by the end of the day tomorrow, and it will be. I just have a few tweaks to make. You know, of course, salaries and everything went up because of the raises, which is to be expected, and that's great. It's no problem or anything like that. We are going to ask for a little bit additional money in a change package for the licensing software
Oh, good.
update. Yeah, there wasn't quite enough in appropriations to cover all of that. So we will be asking for that. And then 24 and 25, you know, we just turned in our budget. There's been no appropriations done for that because in the next session is when they'll do the appropriations for fiscal year 24. So, other than that, the next step after I submitted is Division of Budget works it. And usually we hear back from the Division of Budget the day before Veterans Day. You know that because, and then, you know, if for some reason we do not agree with what they say, then we have a few days to do like a deal. And then they finalize theirs and then it goes over to the governor's area and she prepares the governor's budget, which she gives at the state of the state, or it turns in very close to the state of the state right after the session starts.
Okay.
So that's kind of the next steps to it.
I'm like it's all lined out. Okay. Lori, any questions?
Nope.
So data center.
Good news on that front, we're getting really close to signing, we have signed the agreement for the data connection between, essentially the Topeka Center to the location where we're tentatively gonna go, which is, potentially in Lenexa. There's basically gonna be a two-part phase for this. As a reminder, we have to be out by the end of the year, so Tony and I have been working on trying to get this done somewhere, hopefully early December. You know, it is our entire operation, so it's a big thing. And we're working with all the vendors and those sorts of things to get that done. We're also working with the vendor that's closing their Topeka location, that's kind of merging or what have you with this other organization. And we think we're gonna be able to get the contract so that it's basically almost a wash. It's a little bit more, but not even crazy. To go into the new location, and then we're going to sign that contract. The second part of the phase is a little bit unknown at this point, which is the moving of the offsite data center, which right now is in Columbia, Missouri. That location, we have two potential spots where we can go, and we're trying to figure out exactly how that's going to work. But the biggest issue is to get production moved. Because if that doesn't happen, then anything works. So, that's probably the biggest thing. But as of yesterday, they said they would try to get us the contract hopefully today or tomorrow. So we'll hopefully get lined out, and we got to work with staff and everything because we're gonna have to take down the entire infrastructure. So hopefully this will be the last big move.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just reminder, Lori, that Adrian just did all of this work a year, 18 months ago, and we thought this was great and done, and then.
Yeah, we had the offsite data center set up it's probably about 18 months ago. And the production has been in place it's been a little over a couple of years now. But essentially with COVID and, you know, these companies merging and all of that, it was just beyond our control. They decided to merge with the new organization.
So do you feel like this one is pretty secure and then it
Oh, yeah.
won't be
Yeah.
merging with someone else and we go through?
Well, there's always that potential, right? I mean, there's no way to know what the landscape would be with any of our solutions, any of them for that, you know. It happens all the time. There's technology mergers and those sorts of things. But this one that we're going to be in is a more robust, and there are hospitals and stuff like that in this data center. So I feel that it is a very secure. Tony's went and did a tour, and it's kind of it's in a cave essentially. So it's purpose built. So we don't know, we're going to call it the back cave or something. So there's that. And then just a little bit of update on we talked a little bit about the licensing system. We've been working with the company. We're going to do it in potentially 2 phases, but we have to go through all the state processes and procurements to get that approved. We are going to a users conference next week to talk to them. And so we're going to have some one-on-one time to talk a little bit more about the details. But basically the first phase more or less is, think about it like building your foundation of your home. It's all the nuts and bolts and those sorts of things. And then we're hoping to roll in the data analytics portion in, because that's a huge thing for us right now between all the divisions. We're trying to get more and more data. It seems like that's the big thing. And then once that process is done, assuming we get all the approvals and whatnot, then we're gonna start working on the mobile and the case management and those sorts of things in the second phase. Big projects.
We appreciate all the work. It is big projects.
And these guys, Tony Colton, hats off to them and Michelle, they're all doing a lot of work to make this happen. So, sometimes getting the basics is not as neat, because it's all underneath, you don't see it, but it's critically important to get all this in place.
Well, and then they do the part that we do see as
Yeah,
well,
yes.
handling all our phone calls with our issues with our equipment, so. They do a great job. Right, well, thank you. Amy. Don't have any new business. How about agenda items for December?
Just the finance report update, the monthly. And then I can probably give you more specifics on the budget. I just didn't want to put anything in because it's not been spent.
Sure.
So not that I think much is going to change tomorrow, but anyway, so I could put some information in about that. Okay. We might have the Division of Budgets response by the time we do the packet. It'll be close.
That sounds great. All right, well, we will adjourn the finance committee and prepare for the board meeting.